Podcast titled The Decline into October. Because you missed the whole rally last 2 weeks and just bought the top yesterday. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Chaos in the Charts by EIP, the podcast where we pretend we understand what the market is doing. But deep down we know it's just messing with us. I'm your host, the only trader who knows exactly what's going on in the market. But I won't rub it in your face unless it's for comedic purposes, of course. EIP is the guy who will tell you exactly what's happening in the market and then crack a joke about how you have been burned enough times to finally figure it out. I am here to keep it real, keep it light, and maybe even save you from missing that next big trade without making you feel like a total noob. Today we're talking about the impending, inevitable, gut-wrenching decline in the SP500 and Nasdaq this October. Yes, folks, it's that time of year again when the market throws itself into a midlife crisis like it's just found a gray hair and bought a convertible. October, the month when traders everywhere start stress-eating pumpkin-flavored everything. You're just sitting there minding your own business, watching the SP500 inch upward like a cat trying to casually knock something off the counter. You think, hey, this rally's not so bad. Maybe this time we'll make it through October without a meltdown. Wrong. It's like the market is legally required to stage a breakdown as soon as the leaves start falling. And you know it's coming too. You can see it from a mile away, just like that one friend who says they're fine when you know they're about to lose it at any second. So you've got your nice little setup, your 200-day moving average is cruising along, the MACD is looking healthy, and boom, suddenly October hits, and the market is dropping faster than my enthusiasm for working out after January 1st. Seriously, it's like watching someone trip down a flight of stairs in slow motion, except it's your retirement account, and instead of stairs, it's a black hole of despair. Here's the best part, every October the YouTube analysts come out of their caves like, wow, we didn't see this coming. Really, Steve? You didn't see this coming? It happens every year. It's like watching a horror movie and being surprised when the character decides to investigate the creepy noise coming from the basement. Yes, Steve, the market's going to dip in October. It's called seasonality. Look it up. Now, if you're like me, and by me I mean someone who's been trading long enough to know better but still gets caught off guard, then you probably notice the dramatic shift that happens right around mid-October. At first, it's all doom and gloom. Stocks are tanking, your portfolio looks like it's auditioning for a disaster movie, and you're contemplating switching careers to something less stressful, like lion taming or bomb disposal. But then, just when you think it's all over, the rally begins. And not just any rally, the type of rally that makes you wonder if the market's on caffeine steroids or both. It's like the SP500 wakes up one morning, stares at itself in the mirror, and says, you know what? I have still got it, and next thing you know, it is charging upward like it's training for the 100-meter in Olympic Games. And here's where it gets really funny. All those same YouTube analysts who spent the first half of the month telling you to panic, yeah, suddenly they're on YouTube like, we always knew a rally was coming. Oh, did you, James? Did you really? Because 2 weeks ago, you were out here yelling about bear markets like you were auditioning for Shark Tank. Now you're talking about buying the dip. What happened to all that end of the world energy? But the real comedy isn't just the analysts, it's us, the traders. Every year we act like this time will be different. We stare at our charts like they're magical maps to buried treasure, as if drawing a few squiggly lines is going to protect us from the October plunge. And then the plunge happens and we're sitting there like, wait, what? The 50-day moving average didn't stop the drop. I thought we had a deal market. The reality is October is like that one ex who texts you out of nowhere and says, hey, you up? And even though you know it's going to end in disaster, you still respond. The market's out here ghosting you for 10 months, and then October hits, and suddenly it's back, making you question your entire life. But don't worry, because here's the silver lining. By the end of October, the market goes from being a disaster zone to having a full-blown hero moment. It's like watching a cheesy action movie where the hero gets knocked down for the first 90 minutes, but then in the last 10 they stand up, dust themselves off, and punch the bad guy into next week. That's the S&P 500 and Nasdaq after mid-October. It's down, it's bleeding, and then boom, it rallies like Rocky in round 12. You start seeing those green candles, and you think, oh, I knew this was coming all along. Sure you did, buddy. Sure you did. There. So here's the game plan, folks. Step 1, brace yourself for the October dip. Step 2, don't panic. Step 3, watch as the market freaks out for 2 weeks and then laugh when it suddenly decides to rally like nothing ever happened. It's like watching a soap opera. You don't take it seriously, but you can't stop watching. And remember, when that rally kicks in, act like you knew it all along. You didn't, but no one has to know that. And if someone asks, just say technical analysis, baby, and walk away like you're a genius. Because if there's one thing we've learned from the market, it's that pretending to know what you're doing is half the battle. Alright, let's talk about a different thing now. Let's have a moment of silence for all those brave warriors who decided to buy the top yesterday. You really did it. You saw a market at its peak, looked it dead in the eyes and said, yep, this is exactly where I want to jump in. Bold, very bold. You have got to admire the commitment to bad timing. While the rest of us were watching the market pump like it was on a 2-week espresso binge, you were waiting for the absolute pinnacle before you decided to buy. Why? For the thrill. For that heart-pounding moment when you see a red candle and think, oh good, my account's already underwater. But hey, I get it. FOMO is a real thing. You watch for 2 weeks as the market rallies like it's auditioning for the Olympics, and you tell yourself, this can't last. Any day now, I'll buy the dip, but did you? No, of course not. Because why buy low when you can buy high and experience the sheer joy of watching your investment plummet 5 minutes later? It's like buying tickets to a sinking ship and then being surprised when you're knee deep in water. And speaking of FOMO, let's pour one out for the ones who missed the whole pump these last 2 weeks. Oh, you were waiting for the perfect entry. You were being cautious while the rest of the market was moonwalking its way to new highs. How's that working out for you? You sat on the sidelines, popcorn in hand, saying, I'll jump in when it retraces just a little more, and now here you are, still holding your popcorn, wondering why the bus left without you. Don't worry though. You didn't just miss the bus, you missed the entire parade. The market was handing out free gains like Oprah handing out cars, and you were too busy second-guessing yourself to grab one. Now you're sitting there staring at your screen like, wait, why is everything so expensive? It's because you missed the part where we all got in and rode the rocket while you were out here waiting for confirmation. Spoiler alert. The only confirmation you got was that you missed the boat, and now the boat's halfway to Mars. So here we are. Some of you bought the top, some of you missed the pump, and the rest of us, well, we're just watching, eating snacks and enjoying the show. Because honestly, there's nothing quite like watching the market play with our emotions like a cat with a laser pointer. But hey, there's always tomorrow, right? Just make sure you don't buy the top again, unless that's your thing. Alright, that's it for today's episode, Chaos in the Charts. Brace yourselves for the October madness, stay calm during the dip. And remember, no matter how bad it gets, the rally is coming. And when it does, don't forget to laugh at all the people who thought it wouldn't. I'll catch you next time. Stay sharp, stay sarcastic, and for the love of all that's holy, don't forget to buy the dip. Alright folks, before this market drops any further and we all start panic selling our dignity, do me a favor, hit that like button. It won't stop the market from tanking, but it'll definitely make me feel better. And while you're at it, go ahead and subscribe, because if you're going to lose money, you might as well laugh about it here with me. Ring that notification bell too so you don't miss my next episode where I pretend to know what I'm talking about. Trust me, you'll need the entertainment when your portfolio's in free fall. Stay tuned, stay nimble, and maybe, just maybe, you will all survive October together with me.